Hello and welcome back to Section 3 Fundamentals of Cybersecurity in the course Cybersecurity Specialization Part 1. Cybersecurity plays a very important role to secure our privacy so that we can carry out transactions through the computer without being hesitant or without having any fear. In this section, we are going to cover the key terms in cybersecurity. You will need to know the key terms so that you can speak the language of the cyber world. The next comes the elements of information security. In the elements, we are going to cover the most important CIA Triad. Then comes types of attacks, which are passive attack and active attack. In the end, I am going to cover the roles in cybersecurity. I had given you the overview of the roles in cybersecurity in section 2. It is very important for you to make notes of this section as the terms covered in this section will be useful to you throughout your life. See you in the next video.
So, in this video, we are going to see the standard definitions of cybersecurity or IT security to be precise. So, technology is growing every day, and as it grows, it transforms our digital world. Internet use is increasing exponentially, making us correspondingly more vulnerable to cyber attacks. By learning how cyber criminals attack and how to secure our systems and data against those attacks, you will be able to minimize the risk of data breaches and the devastation they bring with them. Computer security deals with the protection of computer systems and information from harm, theft, and unauthorized use. The main reason users get attacked frequently is that they lack adequate defenses to keep out intruders and cyber criminals. Computer security ensures the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your computers and their stored data. So, National Institute of Standards and Technology, United States defines cybersecurity as the protection of information systems from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, disruption, modification, or destruction in order to provide confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These three terms, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, will be seen in upcoming modules. So, from unauthorized access, which means the person or the people who are not recommended to access those information or data, then disclosure, that is, if you have some confidential information and you tell it to someone or some other company for financial gain, then that is disclosure. Modification is basically you take the information, do some changes in, and then pass on. We are going to see all these types of information attacks in the next lectures. So for this lecture, make sure you understand what is cybersecurity. Another definition from the government of UK is cybersecurity is the application of technologies, processes, and controls to protect the systems, networks, programs, devices, and data from cyber attacks. So, the bottom line of this lecture is cybersecurity deals with the protection of confidential information from cyber attacks. In the next lecture, we will see different types of computer securities which are categorized. In this lecture, we are going to see the four types of computer security that is in front of you. So as we have discussed in the last lecture, I hope you have got a clear idea of cyber security is. So, what is a network security? It is the practice of securing a computer network from intruders, whether targeted attackers or opportunistic malwares. It basically deals with all the networks that are present in the world. We have seen the network devices. So, attackers can also attack these devices to cause or to gain financial benefit. The next is information security. It protects the integrity and privacy of data both in storage and in transit. Information has now become crucial part of our daily life. We value our information and we want to keep our information secure so that no other attacker or unauthorized person should be able to access our information. Application security. Basically, it focuses on keeping software devices free of threats. compromised application could provide access to the data it is designed to protect. So the applications like softwares, Photoshops or Adobe readers or the apps that are present on available on Android devices or a Mac OS, basically these applications also consist of vulnerabilities which could result in loss of data. So securing these devices is a major task before these cybersecurity specialist persons. Now the last one is basically, which is a major type, is disaster recovery and business continuity. So basically it defines how an organization responds to a cybersecurity incident or any other event that causes the loss of operations or data. So basically disaster recovery defines or deals with the post time of an attack, like if an attack has already occurred, now what to do next, how to prevent more data loss, how to get the data that is lost. So this is all in association with the incident response team. So these are the major types of computer security. Also there is the web security, web application security, then your internet of things security. It's all a very big detail, but I just wanted to give you a brief types of computer security, whereas network security and information security have always topped the list.
In this video, I am going to cover the key terms in cybersecurity. The cybersecurity industry is filled with terms. To stay fluent, one must stay abreast of these terms and their definitions. If your security partner informs you about activity within your environment, you will need to speak their language. So, what is a cybersecurity event? A cybersecurity event is a change in the normal behavior of a given system, process, environment, or workflow. In other words, when something happens, it's an event. An event can be either positive or negative. An average organization experiences thousands of events every day. These cybersecurity events can be as small as an email or as large as an update to a firewalls. Examples of cybersecurity events. An employee flags a suspicious email. Someone downloads software, whether it may be authorized or unauthorized, to a company device. A security lapse occurs due to a server outage. Now, what is an incident? An incident is a change in a system that negatively impacts the organization or business. For example, an incident might take place when a cyber attack occurs. Some examples of an incident. An employee replies to a phishing email divulging confidential information. Equipment with stored sensitive data is stolen. A password is compromised through a brute force attack on your system. Now, what is an alert? An alert is a notification of cybersecurity event or sometimes a series of events. You can work with your security provider to determine which types of events you want to monitor with alerts. Depending on your security incident and event management software, you can send alerts to any relevant parties you need to take the action. Asset. Asset can be people, property, and information. People may include employees and customers, along with other invited persons such as contractors or guests. Property assets include both tangible and intangible items that can be assigned a value. Intangible assets include reputation and proprietary information. Information may include databases, software code, critical company records, and many other intangible items. Basically, an asset is what we are trying to protect. Risk. The potential loss, damage, or destruction of an asset as a result of threat exploiting a vulnerability is called as risk. You can reduce your risk by creating and implementing a risk management plan. Risk is the intersection of assets, threats, and vulnerabilities. What is a vulnerability? Weakness or gaps in a security program that can be exploited by threats to gain unauthorized access to an asset. Testing for vulnerabilities is critical to ensuring the continued security of your systems. By identifying weak points, you can develop a strategy for quick response. Vulnerability is a weakness or gap in our protection efforts. A threat. Anything that can exploit a vulnerability intentionally or accidentally and obtain damage or destroy an asset is called as a threat. A threat is what we are trying to protect against. There are three types of threats: natural threats, such as floods, hurricanes, or tornadoes; unintentional threats, like employee mistakenly accessing the wrong information; intentional threats, such as spyware, malware, adware companies, or actions of disgruntled employees. Why is it important to understand the difference between these terms? If you don't understand the difference, you will never understand the true risk to assets. You see, when conducting risk assessment, the formula to determine risk is A plus T plus V is equal to R. That is, asset plus threat plus vulnerability is equal to risk. The next comes hack value, exploit, and attack. Hack value. Hack value is a notion used by hackers to express that something is worth doing or is interesting. This is something that hackers often feel intuitively about a problem or solution. An aspect of hack value is performing feats for the sake of showing that they can be done even if others think it is difficult. Often regarded as the reason or motivation for expending effort toward a seemingly useless goal, the point being that accomplished the goal is hacking. Exploit. Exploitation is the next step in an attacker's playbook after finding a vulnerability. Exploits are the means through which a vulnerability can be leveraged for malicious activities by hackers. These include pieces of software, sequence of commands, or even open source exploit kits. Although exploits can occur in a variety of ways, one common method is for exploits is to be launched from malicious websites. The victim might visit such a site by accident, or they might be tricked into clicking on a link to a malicious site within a phishing email or malicious advertisement. Attack. A cyber attack is an attack launched from one or more computers against another computer. Cyber attacks can be broken down into two broad types of attacks. Attacks where the goal is to disable the target computer or to knock it offline, or attacks where the goal is to get access to the target's computer data and perhaps gain admin privileges in it. Depending on the criminal intent, a cyber attack can be randomly chosen or targeted. Cyber attack methods seem to rotate in order to throw organizations off their defense. Mega ransomware attacks dominated the news in 2017 with WannaCry and NotPetya. Cryptominers attack made headlines in 2018. In 2019, cyber attacks have been a mixed bag. Phishing email cyber attacks remain a constant thorn for most of the organizations. In this video, I am going to cover the elements of information security. The 5 main elements of information security are confidentiality, integrity, availability, authenticity, and non-repudiation. Out of these 5 main components, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, also known as the CIA Triad, is a model designed to guide policies for information security within an organization. The elements of the CIA Triad are considered the 3 most crucial components of the cybersecurity. Confidentiality. Confidentiality means protecting personal privacy and proprietary information. A loss of confidentiality is the unauthorized disclosure of information. There are 2 parts of confidentiality: data confidentiality and privacy. Data confidentiality assures that private or confidential information is not made available or disclosed to unauthorized individuals. Privacy assures that individuals control or influence what information related to them may be collected and stored, and by whom and to whom that information may be disclosed. A real-life example of confidentiality can be your personal information. A layman cannot just come to you and ask for your personal information. Hello, can you give your personal information to me? Sorry, I cannot. Integrity. Integrity means guarding against improper information modification or destruction. The loss of integrity can result in unauthorized modification and destruction of information. There are two parts of data integrity. Data integrity assures that information and programs are changed only in a specified and authorized manner. System integrity assures that a system performs its intended functions in an unimpaired manner, free from any deliberate or unauthorized manipulation of the system. Well, the real life example of integrity can be: consider three people: Alice, Bob, and Trudy. The Trudy is the intruder in this case. Well, Alice wants to send authorized data to Bob, but this authorized information is accessed by Trudy and the authorized content in that is read by Trudy, therefore violating the integrity aspect of CIA Triad. Availability. Availability assures that systems work promptly and service is not denied to authorized users. I am the authorized user. I want to access the authorized information. I have the right to access this authorized data 24 by 7. The two more terms are authenticity and non-repudiation. Authenticity. Well, the authenticity is the property of being genuine and being able to be verified and trusted. Suppose I am sending data to an XYZ person and I don't know who is that person. Well, I can ask for any ID proof or any credentials of that person and I can verify that person. This is authenticity. Non-repudiation. Non-repudiation is the principle of linking users to actions in a way that they cannot deny. Consider an example of mail. Without non-repudiation. Person 1. Did you send me that malicious email from your account? Person 2. No. Person 1. Okay, it can't be verified. Your account must have been hacked. We can still be friends. But with non-repudiation. Person 1. Did you send me that malicious email from your account? Person 2. No. Person 1. Yes, you did. It's signed with your digital signature. We are no longer friends. To understand how CIA Triad works, we can consider the example of ATM machine. ATM machine provides confidentiality by requiring two-factor authentication, both a physical card and a PIN code. The ATM and bank software enforced data integrity by ensuring that any transfers or withdrawals made via the machine are reflected in the accounting for the user's bank account. The machine provides availability because it's in a public place and is accessible even when the bank branch is closed. Well, here are some special challenges for the CIA Triad. Big data. Big data possesses extra challenges to the CIA paradigm because of the sheer volume of information that needs to be safeguarded, the multiplicity of sources it comes from, and the variety of format in which it exists. Duplicate datasets and the disaster recovery plans can multiply the already high costs. Furthermore, because the main concern of big data is collecting and making some kind of useful interpretation of all this information, responsible data oversight is often lacking. For example, Edward Snowden brought the problem to the public forum when he reported on the NSA's collection of massive volumes of American citizens' personal data, like personal data of American citizens was accessed in some unauthorized manner.
In this lecture, we are going to see the different types of attacks. So, a useful means of classifying security attacks in terms of uh, dealing with the scenarios is passive attacks and active attacks. A passive attack attempts to learn or make use of information from the system but does not affect system resources. An active attack attempts to alter the system resources or affect their operation. Passive attack attempts to learn or make use of information from the system but does not affect system resources. Passive attacks are in the nature of eavesdropping or monitoring or transmission. The goal of the opponent is to obtain information that is being transmitted. A telephone conversation, an electronic mail message, and a transferred file may contain sensitive or confidential information. We would like to prevent an opponent from learning the contents of these transmissions. So basically, passive attacks do not directly include the interference of the attacker with the system. The attacker observes the information that is going in and out of the system. Passive attacks are basically difficult to detect and they may prove to be harmful. So the main goal of a passive attack is of the opponent to obtain information that is being transmitted. So there are two types of passive attacks: information disclosure and traffic analysis. Traffic analysis. A second type of passive attack, that is traffic analysis, is subtler. I mean, suppose that we had a way of masking the contents of messages or other information traffic so that opponents, even if they captured the message, could not extract the information from the message. The common technique for masking content is encryption. I mean, if even if the attacker tries to analyze the information that is being sent over a network, and if that information is encrypted, he may not know the contents. I mean, that is a way of preventing, or that is a way of dealing with confidential information. The opponent could determine the location and identity of communicating hosts and could observe the frequency and length of messages being exchanged. This information might be useful in guessing the nature of the communication that was taking place. So here is an example of traffic analysis. You can see that this is Bob, and he is trying to send message to Alice. Now Bob, Alice, and Trudy are the famous personalities that have been used since the earlier age in cryptography. Now Bob and Alice are good people, and Trudy is the intruder. So now Bob says, "Hey Alice, it's me. Bob, how are you?" Now Alice gets this message, and Alice now knows that the person who has sent her a message is Bob. Also, meanwhile, Trudy, since she's analyzing the traffic or the communication between them, now Trudy also knows that Alice has received a message from Bob, or Bob has sent a message to Alice. Now this system, or now there is no effect to the system, but now Trudy knows that Bob is sending message to Alice, and now Trudy can analyze the conversations between them. The next is information disclosure. Again, we'll consider Bob, Alice, and Trudy. So now here in this scenario, Bob is sending information or is talking with Alice, and now Bob says, "Hey Alice, my pet's name is Buster." Now Alice knows that Bob has a pet and his name is Buster. Now since Alice is a good girl, she won't disclose information. But meanwhile, Trudy, since she is analyzing information, now she tells someone that Bob's pet name is Buster. Now, since this information is not so crucial, but in this case, what if Bob told Alice that my account number is this, or my email ID is this, or I've been living here since this, or I've been staying here in California since 19 and etc. Now, Trudy can disclose this information to someone in exchange of money. So this is information disclosure, but here Bob and Alice do not know that Trudy has exchanged information with some other third party. So this is also considered as an attack of information disclosure. This can be crucial attack. The next are types of active attacks. In active attacks, the attacker directly gets in contact with the system. So here direct involvement of the attacker is included. The first type of active attack is masquerade. Now, what is masquerade? Masquerade is basically impersonating an authorized person. For example, now Bob gives the first message, "Hey Alice, it's me, Bob, how are you?" Alice replies, "Hey Bob, I'm fine, what's up?" So now Bob and Alice, they're communicating with each other, and now Alice knows that she's talking to Bob. But somehow Trudy comes in between, and she takes over the communication and sends a message to Alice saying, "How about Robert's Cafe at 5 p.m.?" Now, since Trudy is impersonating Bob, Alice now knows or Alice believes that this message about the meet or date is from Bob, and she replies, "Okay, Bob, done." But meanwhile, Bob doesn't know that Alice has agreed to meet Trudy at 5 p.m. So this is type of masquerade attack where you have to, or when an attacker impersonates an authorized person. The next type of attack is replay attack. Replay attack in replay attacks, the attacker replays the same message again and again, which may uh, you know which may affect the system. So now here Bob sends a message to Alice saying that we have to meet today at 6 p.m. Alice says okay, no problems. Then again Trudy replays the same message, "Hey Alice, let's meet today at 6 p.m." Since Alice knows that she already knows that she has agreed to meet at 6 p.m., she replies, "Bob, I already told yes." Again, Trudy can send a message saying, "Hey Alice, let's meet today at 6 p.m." Now, this can be annoying, and this may disturb the relations between the sender and the receiver. So this is a type of replay attack. The next type of active attack is denial of service. Denial of service. The name itself says that the service cannot be delivered. So now Bob says, "Hello Alice, how are you?" Now Alice replies, "I am fine, Bob, what's up?" But now Trudy intercepts and does not allow the message of Alice to reach Bob. Again, then Bob asks, "Alice, are you there in the call? I mean, are you still in the conversation?" Now Alice is waiting for Bob's reply, but Bob is waiting for Alice's reply. So, this is a sort of a disconnection between the two, sender and the receiver, and this can be, crucial when at times. Now, I'll give a real life example of how denial of service attack can be very crucial, very devastating. Suppose you are transacting an amount of money to the bank, and now, you want to give your details. Suppose you have all paid the amount and you have all paid the details, and now the bank says, "Yes, okay, I'm going to transfer the money in your account." But if an attacker who is quite who's quite confident about his skills hacks the bank server and does not allow the transfer of the money to your bank account. Now this might be a troublesome case because the bank's database shows that the money has been transferred, but your account does not receive the money. So this is a type of a denial of service attack. The last one that we are going to see is the modification attack. In modification attack, basically you modify the information, you modify the message, and then send the message to the next or the receiver. So now here Bob is in trouble and he wants some money, and now Alice says, "Okay, just tell me account number and transfer the money to that account number." But Trudy is intelligent. She intercepted the message and she got to know the Bob's account number, and now she modified that account number to her account number so that Alice could easily transfer money to Trudy's account. Meanwhile, Bob doesn't get a single penny. So, modification attack can also be very crucial. So, these are the common motives behind any attack. I'm sorry, that is any attack. So the main motive is for financial gain, or leak information theft, or do you want to create a fear, you want to blackmail someone, or to demand ransom. Or you can also use an attack to demean someone. You can post some viral information over the web to actually demean that person. And then but today's cyber attacks are mostly based on ransomware attacks, where you carry out an attack, but then you demand a ransom for the attack to reverse it. So the main motive is financial money. Money is everything behind any cyber attack. In the next lecture, we will see the key terms involved in cybersecurity.
In this video, I'm going to cover the roles in cybersecurity. Well, I'm going to cover the roles in two parts. So, the first comes the penetration tester, also known as ethical hacker and assurance validator. Penetration testers inform security improvements by detecting security weaknesses in information systems, networks, and web applications. Unlike vulnerability assessors who highlight security weaknesses during information security system setup, penetration testers test established security systems. Penetration testers design or utilize hacking tools to access pre-designated pieces of sensitive data in predetermined timeframes. Companies generally employ penetration testers to improve information security by detecting and correcting systems before criminals attack and exploit these weaknesses. This preventive measure lowers companies' risks of real cyber attacks, which can damage companies' finances and customer trust. Penetration testers often work in teams to create new tests simulating cyber crimes. These professionals may identify application vulnerabilities or access physical security of systems, servers, and network devices. Penetration testers suggest specific security strategies and solutions aligned with company budgets, and they may provide ongoing support as companies implement these new security measures. Junior penetration testing roles usually require 1 to 4 years of information security experience, while higher level positions require 3 to 10 years of experience related to vulnerability assessment or penetration testing. Professionals with relevant hacking skills and work experience do not always need specialized degrees to become penetration testers. However, many penetration testing jobs require bachelor's or master's degree in cybersecurity, computer science, or information technology. To identify certain security problems, penetration testers also need analytical skills. To generate tools for breaking into security systems or creating new solutions, these professionals need creativity and problem-solving skills as well. Generally, penetration testing careers tend to pay well, with salaries ranging from $57,000 to $134,000 based on experience level. Pay scale data indicates that penetration testers make a median annual salary of $84,000, well above the national mean of $51,960 for all occupations. Next comes the security analyst. Information security analysts can expect an estimated 32% increase in employment from 2018 to 2028, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. Threats to cybersecurity continue to pervade the marketplace and our personal lives. Security analysts combat this, offering essential protections across private and public sectors. Security analysts thrive in financial, business, and technological industries. Security analysts carry out penetration testing to prevent cybersecurity incidents, employing the latest technologies to counter potential threats. They install and upgrade computer security software such as encryption programs and firewalls to protect data integrity. They also train users to employ security products and procedures. Protecting data from corruption, compromise, or loss remains a chief concern for individuals and groups alike. Anxiety about cybersecurity threats and damage creates a need for cybersecurity analysts across the occupational landscape. Information security analysts work in small and large-scale business settings. They also find employment with financial institutions, healthcare organizations, and government agencies. Well, to become a security analyst, individuals need at least a bachelor's degree in computer science, information technology, or a related discipline. This degree includes coursework in computer software and hardware, building foundational knowledge for aspiring security analysts. Classes in cybersecurity, penetration testing, and computer forensics also foster skills applicable to these careers. Additional certificates in ethical hacking, penetration testing, and incident handling build advanced knowledge of specific aspects of the cybersecurity field. The experience with an organization's computer systems, policies, and practices also provide valuable insights into potential risks and how to address them. Experience builds necessary skills to identify risks and intrusions, as well as implement security protocols and recover the lost data. Security analysts use analytical and problem-solving skills in the technical and conceptuals of the job aspect. Security analysts need skills in research, auditing, and project management as well. Well, as of 2018, information security analysts earn an annual mean salary of over $1 lakh. The next comes the incident responder. There are many different jobs in incident response field, including cyber incident responder, computer network defense incident responder, incident respondent engineer. Other related positions include forensics intrusion analyst, intrusion detection specialist, and a network intrusion analyst. Incident responders seek to protect and improve organizational security by preventing, averting, and mitigating security threats. These professionals often work under pressure to assess and respond to threats through intrusion detection, security auditing, and risk analysis. Addressing security threats can involve use of various network forensics, reverse engineering, and penetration testing skills. Incident responders also create reports for management and law enforcement. Well, companies hire incident responders to protect finances and reputation from losses due to cybercrime. Incident responders may work as consultants or as employees of large companies with computer security incident response teams, the CSIRTS. Many incident responders positions require 2 to 3 years of prior experience in information security or forensics. Regardless of degree, most incident responders require some sort of certifications. Keep in mind that certification requirements vary depending on position, employer, and the industry. Incident responders need considerable applied knowledge and skills working with many kinds of systems. Comprehensive understanding of operating systems, hardware and software systems, and network systems are essential. Soft skills such as versatility, persistent, and grounding prove useful for this often stressful and unpredictable job. Well, this job is often the unpredictable. Median annual wage of $86,000 and projects 12% job growth between 2018 and 2028. Job growth data for information security analyst projects a 32% increase during the same time frame, suggesting a particular promising job market for IT professionals specializing in cybersecurity. Information security analysts also made an average of $98,000 annually in 2018. In the last video, I have covered the penetration tester, security analyst, and the incident responder. In this video, I am going to cover the security auditor and the chief information security officer, the CISO. Starting with security auditor. As specialized information security professionals, security auditors conduct audits of the computer security systems. They possess knowledge of computer and information technologies, plus expertise in cybersecurity, penetration testing, and policy development. Usually working as external consultants, security auditors access computer systems safely and with efficiency. They provide detailed reports, note weaknesses, and offer suggestions for improvement. These professionals also test databases, networks, and comparable technologies to ensure compliance with information security standards. They construct and administer audits based on company or organizational policies and applicable government regulations. Through interviews and cooperation with executives, managers, and IT professionals, system auditors develop plans to improve security compliance, reduce risk, and manage potential security threats. As external auditors, security auditors offer an objective perspective on an organization's security practices. Companies and businesses bring in security auditors at regular intervals to check their own effectiveness and ensure the systems adhere to industry standards. Security auditors also introduce new practices and technologies to companies and organizations. Well, the coursework in an undergraduate degree builds fundamental knowledge, which learners can apply in entry-level positions as security, network, or system administrators. Administrator roles train individuals to test systems and networks for vulnerabilities, establish security requirements, and conduct basic audits. The security auditors earn a median annual salary exceeding $66,000. Entry-level security auditors earn roughly $58,000, while their mid-career counterparts take home more than $80,000. Senior-level security auditors earn nearly $106,000 annually. Next comes the Chief Information Security Officer, the CISO. Chief Information Security Officers oversee strategic, operational, and budgetary aspects of data management and protection. These professionals work closely with fellow executives to develop information security policies and procedures for business or organization. They also manage teams of computer analysts, information security specialists, and comparable professionals to identify, neutralize, and eliminate security threats. As individuals with advanced technical, business, and organizational skills, Chief Information Security Officers work across economic sectors. They monitor security vulnerabilities and stay abreast of changing technologies and allocate resources to facilitate efficiency and efficacy. Tasked with protecting their organization's proprietary data and intellectual property, CISOs manage their company's overall security. As top information security professionals, CISOs boast extensive knowledge of the company's information technology practices and the security needs. CISOs identify weaknesses with existing information security technologies and programs. Through collaborations with executives and team of information technology security experts, these professionals develop security policies and information protection practices. Additional duties include preparing budgets and financial forecasts for security operations and maintenance. CISOs also allocate financial resources, coordinate investigative and data recovery efforts, carry out risk assessments and audits, and ensure compliance with applicable regulations and laws. With an undergraduate education in the field, aspiring CISOs become entry-level computer, network, and system analysts or specialists. As analysts, individuals detect, prevent, and investigate cyber threats. They also research new security measures, mitigate infrastructure weaknesses, and conduct data retrievals. By gaining valuable experience in the field, individuals can advance to managerial or administrative roles. Well, the CISOs earn a median annual salary exceeding $105,000. Professionals with 1 to 4 years of experience earn more than $120,000 annually, while CISOs with more than 10 years of experience take home roughly $161,000 annually. The most senior Chief Information Security Officers earn more than $170,000 per year. Now, as I have demonstrated all the operations and fields in cybersecurity, now it's your choice which field to select and with which field to proceed.
So in this lab, we are going to talk about Open Source Intelligence Framework, that is OSINT. OSINT is data collected from publicly available sources to be used in an intelligence context. In the intelligence community, the term open refers to overt, that is publicly available sources. It is not related to open source software or collective intelligence. OSINT under one name or another has been around for 100 years. With the advent of instant communications and rapid information transfer, a great deal of actionable and predictive intelligence can now be obtained from public unclassified sources. So, you need to type OSINT framework in google.com, and the first result that you get, osintframework.com, you have to click there. So as you can see, the OSINT framework consists of n number of search engines, n number of data. So first we will go to domain name, and in that you can see there are again various tools available to find out the domain information, and in this we'll go to who is the records. So again in who is records there are a number of tools available to exactly find the who is records, and we'll go to who.is. So in the last lab we saw the who is in from the terminal of Kali Linux. Now in this video we'll see from the website itself. So type the website name google.com and hit enter. So as you can see, the entire name, that is Mark Monitor Incorporation, that we saw in the last lecture, we can see it now. Expires on, registered on, updated on, and it has again 4 name servers as we saw in the previous video. If you click on the DNS records, we get everything, that is what is the type of the record, TTL, priority, then MX stands for mail exchanger, NS stands for name server, etc. Everything we get from these websites. And if you click on diagnostics, we can we have to complete the captcha because we are not a robot apparently. So yes, let us wait. Now yes, it is pinging google.com. So and it is also find out trace route first. So it's basically the automating process for what we have seen in the previous videos. Now going back to OSND framework, if we scroll down, if we come down, we can see a tag there known as digital currency. In this you can have Bitcoin, Ethereum and Monero, which are popular blockchains, and if you are very curious, you can explore them. I find one important thing about is that is terrorism database. So you can see that the global terrorism database is also available in the intelligence framework. All this information is openly available, but this information should only be used for intelligence purposes. So if now I'll click the access the GDT, and I'll hit the name of one of the famous terrorists of all, Osama bin Laden, and let me wait. So in the database, search the database, I'll type Osama bin Laden, and let us see what I can find out from Osama bin Laden's name search. So you can see, oh my god, that's a number of attacks that he has carried out. You can see he was jihadi inspired extremist. He was the main target was United States. Injured in the first attack in 2017, it injured only one. And Al-Qaeda in Saudi Arabia, you can see numerous terrorism records which are available, and there are 2 pages, that is almost 40 records. So with this OSND framework, you can get anything you want on the internet, but you have to make sure that it is used in proper purpose. So you can see in tools, virtual machines, pen testing recognition, then language translation, archives, search engines, maps, telephone numbers. You have also got dating information, voicemail. It's basically everything. You name a certain thing and you can find it on Google OSND framework. But you have to make sure that you need to be pretty intelligent and smart enough to find the correct information, because proper use of OSND framework will only give you the right results. I hope this lecture was very interesting, because when I saw this OSND framework for the first time, I was very fascinated, and I really explored I've explored each and every form of OSND framework, and I hope you do. I'll meet you in the next lecture.
Well done! You have successfully completed section 3 of this course. In this section, you learned the 3 most important terms, that is the confidentiality, integrity and availability, along with various another key terms. Further, you learned types of attacks and how they take place while knowing some of the preventive measures. At the end, you had an overview of various roles in this domain, and now it's your choice which role best suits you. See you in the next section, diving deep into cyber